afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
actually I'm
Okay.
trying to join from my yeah, I can hear you. Actually, I'm trying to join from my laptop. I'm not able to join from my laptop.
Okay. Mm, so right now you are connected from your mobile device.
Yeah, from my mobile.
Okay. So if you want, I can try again. You can try from laptop. Are you logged into the group?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll disconnect and I will
I'll just
yeah, I will try to disconnect and I will try to
yeah.
reconnect. Then you pick up the call from laptop.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing that only.
Oh, oh,
Okay,
oh,
I'll
oh,
accept from
yeah.
laptop.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Are you connected now with the laptop?
Yeah, yeah, I'm connected with the laptop now.
Okay, great. Okay. And can you see my screen now?
Yeah, yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, fine. So our today's topic is on search engine optimization. That is our first module. So we are starting our first module with search engine optimization, which is the most important module. Now to learn search engine optimization, we need to know certain things for which we have certain slides to show, which I'll just show you go quick go through with these slides, so that you will have a fair understanding of what SEO is and how it is, how does it work. So that is what we are going to see. So now
Okay.
in this, what we'll be learning is what is search engine optimization, then search engine results page, what is the difference between search engine optimization and pay per click, then what exactly are search engines, then what are the main components of search engines, then on page optimization, off page optimization, keywords research, keywords content and density, then search console we have a separate module. So rest of them are other modules, so we'll be learning. So in this page what we'll be seeing is all these things plus off page optimization and mobile SEO. These are the things that we are going to see
Okay.
now. When we talk about search engine optimization, say it's all everything that we try to do to get our website in search engine and rank up in search engine results page. So that is whenever we try to search something on Google or any search engine and our website comes up in search engine, then we can say that yes, our SEO is successful. So that is what is mentioned over here, that all the efforts are revolving around trying to get a website to show up or rank in search engine, that is called as search engine optimization. So it will come up in search engine results page. So this is what SEO is, and this is search engine results page. So whatever we see after searching for a keyword, so whatever comes up over here, this is called as search engine results page. Now say we have search engine SEO versus PPC. So SEO is search engine optimization versus PPC is pay per click. So pay per click are these search ads. Say whenever we search something over here, we see this AD.
Yeah.
These are called as ads. So
Data.
yeah, these are ads. These are called as pay per click. Now why it is called as pay per click? Because say these are search ads, and whenever people will click on this, the advertiser pays some amount depending on the rates that are going on or prevailing at that point of time. So that is pay per click. So at that time they have to pay. So if the bid is say around 10 rupees per click, so then for that particular keyword, if the rate is 10 rupees per click, then they pay 10 rupees. So that is already being deducted from their wallet. So that is how it goes. And the below one that we see, this is organic results. These are done by implementing all time and efforts and working on their website. That is search engine optimization. So that is these results we get by after performing various strategies on our website. So that is the basic difference. Over here we pay everything, pay to get ads, and over here we take efforts to get our content. Now the main difference is that over here our ads will come up only till the time we make the payment. Once the payment stops, then the ad also stops. But over here whatever efforts we are taken, so these results will remain over here for a longer period of time. So in long term these are very helpful because these are going to stay over here. Then the next thing is like, what are search engines? So basically search engines are uh, applications
Hello.
or hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So search engines are software systems which can use search internet, and say when people will search for all the keywords or whatever they are searching, and they get some results out of it. So basically search engine are say answer engines, wherein you get all the answers to all the questions that you are searching on any search engine. So that is search engine. Now now I said that if we want to get our website in search engine, then first of all we need to know that how does a search engine function and what are the main components of search engine. So over here let's see some of the components that are available in search engines. All search engines perform this way. The first one is spider, or we call it as a bot also. So this spider is a program that search engine uses to follow throughout the internet. So these spiders travel across the internet, and then they collect all the content from all the websites. So they are also known as the robots or crawlers. So the next process is crawling. So when the spider is traveling across the websites or across the internet on all over the websites, they collect all the documents they find on the web. Now it is not just documents, it collects all the information from websites like content, that is text, images, videos, blogs, articles, whatever we post online, that is collected by search engine. So this is what it does, and then it stores all the external and internal links to the website. So it basically collects all the links. So that is what it is. And then the indexing process starts. So indexing is the process of ordering all the content which is collected in a particular order, so that it is relevant to the quality of the search that people are searching on internet. So it's like, say whenever people are searching for any keyword, then Google will order all the websites in that particular order, that okay, this website will come first, this website will come at second, third, fourth, fifth, and then millions of websites in that particular order. And then the results are shown in search engine, and people can browse all those websites. So this is indexing. So now the next thing that we have is on page optimization. So now what is on page optimization? So on page optimization refers to all the factors or all the strategies that we perform on our website. So that is the reason it says on page. On page means on our website, all the pages of our website, and we want to optimize all the pages of our optimization which comes under on page optimization. Now what are the things that we need to take care of? Now Before starting on-page optimization, I just want to tell you that we need some content to put it on the page, so that page contains some content. So we will prepare a content wherein, say, we write some articles or some blogs related to some particular topic. Now that topic contains some important keywords. Keywords means the words that people search in search engine, and they are classified like, say, primary keyword, which is the main keyword related to the article. Then we have secondary keywords, which are supporting keywords related to that. So for example, if I say digital marketing is the main keyword, and under that we have social media marketing, email marketing, YouTube marketing, and like that, various keywords. So these all things comes under digital marketing. So digital marketing is the main primary keyword. So like that, this is just an example I'm saying. So like that, there would be many other topics, and millions and billions of topics available, and like that we need to know what is the primary keyword. Now why do we need to identify a primary keyword? See, we need to identify it because search engine should know that whenever a person is searching for that particular keyword, then your website should come up. That particular page on which this content, this primary keyword is optimized, that page should come up in search engine. So for that reason,
Okay.
we need to use that primary keyword multiple times in the content and at all the places that is mentioned over here in this circle. So now starting with the first thing, so title tags. So I will just let you know what is title tags. I'll just open it over here. Say, okay, I open search engine optimization, Google search, and over here I search for digital marketing, and over here we get various results. So over here we get, see, this blue colored things. So whatever this blue colored is mentioned, these are all called as title, and in search engine optimization language we call it as meta title. So this is title of the blog or title of the page. So whatever is the title that comes up over here. And where does this title come up on the page? So if I show you my website over here, then in the blog section, whatever is the heading, the main heading, that is the title over here. So if I go to blogs over here, then we have over here various blogs. So if I just open one thing over here, one blog over here, then over here this is the title. Now where does this title appear? So this title appears over here in the content, then it also appears over here in the title bar. So on the top of the browser we see over here, this is search engine marketing, and search engine marketing, crucial part of marketing strategy. So over here the same thing is mentioned. So over here, if our keyword is search engine marketing, then this search engine marketing should be used everywhere. So it is there in the title also, and over here also it is mentioned search engine marketing. So that is what we meant by that keyword should be present everywhere. So now that it is present in the title, then it should be present in the description. So in the description means that it should be there in our description, whatever we are writing over here. So the first important thing is that it should contain in the first paragraph of the content. Whatever we are writing, it should contain in the first part of the content. So here we can see search engine marketing is mentioned over here. So this is description. Then we have URL. So in URL also we need to have that primary keyword. So over here, if you see my blog's name, then over here we can see search engine marketing in the URL. Over here it says search engine marketing. So this
Engine
is
marketing.
yeah, so that is what is URL. So we are using our primary keyword in the that
Basically,
URL.
for title, description, and everything, we have to
Yes,
put when we create them, right?
yes, whenever we create them. So before, actually before doing search engine optimization, the actual process is that whenever you sit to write any content or a blog, you need to first identify your title on which you want to write a blog. So we selected a topic like search engine marketing. So here we selected search engine marketing as our topic. Now we should know that what are the important keywords which are supporting for search engine marketing. So for that we have various tools that we are going to study, that how to find the related words which are related to search engine marketing keyword. Then we will list all those keywords, that okay fine, search engine marketing is our primary keyword, then we write secondary keyword could be search engines or marketing strategy. These are all supporting keywords that we are using. See over here, what are the keywords that I've used in this. We can see it over here. See, advertise, then email marketing, marketing strategies, paid search. These are all supporting keywords that I have used for this content. Now we start to write an article, and now we know that search engine marketing is our primary keyword. So I need to use that keyword multiple times in the content, and throughout the content this particular keyword should appear. It should not be that okay fine, if I have to use 10 times then I will use it in one paragraph. No, that is not possible. I mean, then that is called as spamming, so that cannot be done. So we have to use it throughout the blog, entire blog, in a uniform way. So we will start to use that, and other keywords also we will start to use that. So that is how we start to write the content, and then during the writing process of the content itself we will take care of all these things. Of course URL we will be creating once we add the blog into the website, so that we'll be studying. So then we have site navigation. So site navigation is any links on the website with which you can navigate on the website. So over here for that, see, in the menu we cannot use those keywords. Now navigation does not exactly mean just the menu on the top. Navigation can be any links on the website with which that people can click that word and go to other websites. So we should have those keywords in the navigation also. So all the links over here, so over here also it is coming up. So if people are searching for search engine marketing, so then I press enter, then I will get all the results that are related to search engine marketing. So this keyword is containing, see over here, email marketing is there. Over here these all blogs are containing that particular keyword exactly as we have searched. So this is all the blogs. So for this reason we need to have it in navigation. If we would have not got those keywords in navigation, then all these results wouldn't have come up. So that is what we need to know. Then the next thing is sitemap. So sitemap, and over here we can see this robot.txt file. Now these two files are very important for any website. See, on the first day I had asked that how does our website come up in search engine? Do I go and tell Google, or do Google come to me? No, these are the files which are communication files between our website and search engines, which makes the communication with each other automatically when the bots are crawling all over the internet. Then these robot.txt file, we will be seeing it first. I will just go open that. So we have over here robots. Okay, yeah, this is the robot.txt file, and I'll also open sitemap. Okay, sitemap, yes, over here sitemap. So I'll open it over here. Yeah, so now whenever the robot will come to our website, over here it will first search for its file. So robot.txt file, so it will search that okay, whether my file is available on this website or not. So this is search engine bots file. So it will find that okay fine, this file is present on the website. So it will read the first line. So first line says that user agent star. So star means all search engine. Now over here I can manipulate my results in search engines, like say if I want my content to come up only on Google, then I will remove this star and write over here Google bot. Then it applies to all search engine, because if Yahoo search engine bots come over here and they read this first line, then it reads that okay, user agent Google bot, so it says that okay, over here this content is not for us, so they will go away directly from this website and they will go to another website. So we can get our results only in Google search engine. But now I want my content to be seen in all search engine, and all search engine should have my content. So for that reason I will put a star mark. So star mark is for all search engine. Then it will read second line and says allow slash. So allow slash means the home directory. So it says that okay, fine, I can collect all the information from the home directory, that is from this website. Then it will read the third line, says disallow slash wp admin slash. So now it will take a note of it that I cannot I am not allowed to take this directory and its content to crawl, and I will not collect any content from this particular directory, because see, some of the content is not used or some of the content we do not want people to see, because this wp-admin is my administrative login which requires a username and password. So even if it comes on search engine,
Okay.
then people will not be able to go through, because it will ask a username and password. So that is my managing my website directory, so I will not allow this. Then sometimes I might do not want to show some content, like some of the files or some of the photographs or images or some of my members data to search engine. So for that reason I can put over here not just directories but directories as well as files. So I can put all the directories over here and all the files listed over here under disallow. So then Googlebot will not take that content from our website. Then it will read the fourth line and it says that sitemap is located at this URL. Then directly it will leave this file, it will close this file and directly jump to this file where it knows that okay, we have already prepared the URLs of our website which this Google bot can collect from our website. So all these URLs which are mentioned on this in this file will be collected by Google. So we don't need Google to automatically collect all the data, otherwise it will collect everything. So for that reason I have told Google that okay, fine, you have to collect only this. So this is my base URL, that is helpopedia.com. Then over here we have blogs, over here we have certain other blogs. So here all the blogs, tags, pages, everything is mentioned over here. So these all things are, these are the URLs which will be collected by Googlebot, and no other URL or page will be collected by them from our website. Now this file is say quite long, and don't worry, we do not need to type this all these things. This file is generated automatically, so we do not need to code it. So that I'll show you how to use it. So we just go to Google over here and we search for XML sitemap generator. So over here we will get some websites over here, and I'll open it in a new tab and I will enter my website's URL. So my website's URL I will enter and then I will say start. So now it is automatically crawling my website right now. So it is scanning my websites and it will collect all the content, all the URLs from my website. So now these URLs once collected, it will create automatically an XML file and it will give us in this format, like over here sitemap.xml. It will give us all the zip files over here where I can have HTML sitemap, I can have a text XML file, then I can have a text file. So over here I have list of URLs. So these all files are collected automatically. So different sites, Google bots, or say different bots of different search engine will require different files to be uploaded. Usually XML file is a standard file utilized by all search engines. So even if we just upload this XML sitemap, then it is okay. So like this, the file will be generated, and when it is generated we will upload it to our website. So like this we can create this sitemap with this website. So these two files have these functions. Then we have images over here. Now whenever we upload any image, we need to have the main primary keyword for that particular image as well, and we also need to provide alternative text, that is all text in this image. So when, because see, Google bots or the search engine who is coming to crawl our content, they cannot read images. Say whenever I search for say any images over here, say suppose I go to Google Images, and if I search for say digital marketing, then over here you can see that all the images that are being seen over here are related to digital marketing only, and no other topic
Yeah.
is listed. Now how does Google, if Google cannot read these images, then how will they display exactly the same images over here? That is because we have named all these images with their primary keywords or what exactly this is. So if I just show you an example over here, say all the images which are uploaded on my websites are over here. Now every image
Okay.
has a particular name. See over here, artificial intelligence prevents fraud, then over here artificial intelligence, then over here backlinks, then over here benefits of social media, then over here best blogging. So like this we give a name to each and every image. I just cannot write that okay 1.jpg or 2.jpg. No, if I write that, then see, Google, nobody is going to search for 1.jpg. People are not going to search for one. So people will search for artificial intelligence. So for like that, whenever people will search for our content in Google Images, at that time our images will also come up. See, if our images are not coming up in the text over here, in these results, if our content is not coming up, then at least our images will come up over here, because see over here the name of all the website is mentioned over here. See, like
Yeah.
if I just type one more keyword like say 21 days unlocking series, then over here you will find various links. So these are all related to my, these are my videos on YouTube. See over here you can see this
Okay.
YouTube. See, this is YouTube. Over here YouTube.
Yeah.
Then say if I search for say digital marketing course in say Kharghar, then I press enter, and then let me see if we get some results. So over here there would be various images that are coming up, and all the websites in which this particular keywords are matching, then those websites would be shown over here. See over here you can see one of my website listed over here, Helpopedia EduTech. Over here it is coming up.
Go to
So
join.
yeah, so like this all the images will come up. So now if I search, if somebody knows about me and knows the name of my company, and they might just search for Helpopedia, then see over here all the images are from my website. All these images, this is my logo over here, like this you can see over here, these are the thumbnails of YouTube that you can see. So like this we can see all these images, and everywhere the my website URL will also be listed. See over here, helpopedia.com, then over here this is my Dailymotion channel, then over here YouTube it is coming. So like this Google wants that all the images should have a name,
I mean,
particular name which represents this image, so that we will learn when we start the practical today. So I'll tell
oh,
you how to use all those things. So that is images, so we should use the primary keyword in our images as well. Then we have headings. Now headings are like over here on my website. If I open any blog, say like okay email marketing, I'll just open this blog, and over here you can see these over here headings are used. See, this is heading, over here this is heading. So over here we need to add headings. Now why does Google say that you need to add headings to your blog? Because now just imagine this content over here starting from here till the end. Now it is a long article, right? Now if I don't have
Yeah.
headings and people just read this text, they will not remember what exactly this content is all about. See, now if I have segregated it with different topics, different headings, and provided a name for the headings, then people will know that okay, if I ask you that what did you understand from this article, then if it did not have headings, then it would, you would say that it would be difficult to remember, so then you might not remember. But if this article has headings, then at least you will know that okay, fine, it had one heading which it had some content which was related to making engagement a priority, and then you might recollect that okay, under engagement you will have this. So like this, these are the main points of the article which we need to use, so then people will understand our article. So for that reason, it says that we need to use heading across all our articles, and between minimum 250 to 300 words we need to have one heading. So that is what is mentioned over here. So that is using of headings, and our headings also should contain some of our headings should also contain our primary keywords. So basically using primary keywords is mandatory at all the places. So that is what is mentioned over here. Then it's keywords usage, so this is very important again. So if we talk about keywords usage, then what is keyword usage? So say Google says that any topic between 300 to 800 words is considered as the best optimum article. But it is not that if you have more than 800 words you cannot write. I have some of the articles which are above 4000, and some of one article which is more than 9,000 words. So that is
That big.
yeah, so that it is that big. So because that article shows about the 93 tools that are people can use to optimize various things. So that is what is mentioned. Now over here, say like when Google says that we have to use this much, this is the minimum, because I will explain why. Google says that you have to use 3% of your content as keywords. So like if I have 300 words article, then 3%, that is equal to say 9 words. So 9 words should be my primary keywords. So if I have an article on search engine marketing which is of say 500 words, so say like 500 words, so then 3% of 500 is 5 threes are 15, so it's 15. So 15 times I have to use that search engine marketing keyword throughout my content. Then Google will know that yes, this particular article is on search engine marketing. So for that reason, this is the keyword usage that we need to use. Now we have also secondary keywords and tertiary keywords. So like I said that if we are using say like secondary keywords like email marketing, advertise, like whatever keywords we saw over here, so how many times those keywords are used. So over here, since it is 3%, we can use them for 15 times, or we can use little less, because we want to portray our main keyword more number of times. So Google should know if we use all the keywords for 15 times, then Google will not know that whether this article is on search engine marketing or any other thing. So we can use it a little less, say like we can use it for 14 times, or we can use it for 12 times, or we can use it for say 10 times. Like this we need to use. So then if anyone is searching for any supporting keywords, then also our content will come up. Now why does Google say that we also need to use secondary keyword and tertiary keyword when the article is on search engine marketing? So that is my primary keyword. Why? That is because Google says that you should not take the risk of using only one keyword in one article. Say if there is a lot of competition for this particular keyword, then at least with other keywords your content will come up where the competition in search engine is low. At that time we need to use secondary keyword, tertiary keywords like this. So I might use it for 14 times, 12 times, 10 times or 9 times, whatever I want to use I will use it. So that is keyword usage. So 3% is the keyword usage. So now this is the formula which you need to know all the time and keep it in your mind, that okay, this is the usage, keyword usage. So whether it is say if it is 800 words, then you need to use your primary keyword for 24 times. If your keyword is for say 1000, then you need to use it for 30 times. So that is 3%. So this 3% is usually say between 2.5 to 3%. It always fluctuates, so it is okay. So one or two keywords doesn't matter up or down, so that is okay. Because see, if I use say if the keyword usage is say I have to use it for 30 times, but if I use this keyword for say 50 times or 100 times, then Google will say that you have over optimized your content and you need to reduce some of the keywords. Then that would be like spamming sort of thing. So we are over optimizing our content. Now if we have to use 30 and if we have used it say 20 times or 15 times, then it will say that you still need to increase your keywords because it is written only this many times and this much is minimum required. So this is the keyword usage that we need to know. So in short, 3% of your content should contain keywords. That's it. So this is what Google says.
And where do we have to put the keywords? Like it should be there in our content or
Yes, over here,
no?
overall content over here, like everywhere starting from the top till the end, we need to use that. So say in our previous article where we saw search engine marketing, over there I know that okay fine, that is my keyword. So over here if I search for email marketing, so let me see how many times I have used this. You can see it is used 31 times over here. So this is we do not consider this because this is coming up in tags, so it is 30 times. So 30 times you can see it is highlighted everywhere, over here, then over here, then over here. So everywhere it is there.
Okay.
So it is spread across the content
It
over
should be
here.
present in
Yes, it should
okay,
be.
it should be present
Yes,
across the content.
it should not just the content. Yeah, so that 3% applies to the content. So it can be the content or it can be the heading also. So that both are considered everywhere. So we can use it at both the places. Hmm. Then we have negative on-page SEO. So now what is negative on-page SEO? See, negative on-page SEO is say you want to say remove some of the results from search engine, and you are searching for something say like, but actually we do not use negative on-page SEO nowadays because that is not used. We only optimize the keywords that we want to use on our website. So if I give you an example over here in Google, I might search for say uh, digital marketing courses in Mumbai minus uh, Andheri. Now what will this do? This will search for all the results from Mumbai, but it will not search for the results from Andheri. So that is what is mentioned over here, all the things. So all the results that you will be getting is from all the places in Mumbai, but it will not show the results from Andheri. So this is what we mean by negative. So we don't need to use that in our website. That is sometimes we use it, sometimes we don't use it. So usually we don't experiment on all these things. So the next thing is mobile SEO. So mobile SEO is nowadays very popular because see over here whenever we search for anything in Google, you can see this microphone over here. So whenever we search for
Yeah.
any keyword over here, the results that we might get when we type the text and get the results, and whenever we use a microphone and search the results, both the results are different, because people might have not optimized their pages with respect to voice search. And another thing, the most important thing is that whenever we open any website in any page, the website should fit within the screen. So we should not have a left and right scroll bar over here, say like we have vertical scroll bar. So vertical scroll bar of course we require because we need to read the whole content. But if my content is starting from here and it is going outside the screen on the right hand side, then I have to scroll back on the right, and then when I scroll back on the left, I will not know on which line I was. So that would be a difficult thing. So that is say mobile SEO, we need to know that our website fits all the screens. All the screens means it can be of any size, whether it is a desktop, laptop of any size, or tablets of any size, or even mobile devices. Now what is the best method to check whether it is optimized or not? Say I will just show you that we have a very good example over here when we talk about a website. Say suppose over here I open the home page of my website. Now one sec, yeah, over here okay, it's opening. Now see, I will adjust this, I will make it small, and now you can see it has become smaller over here. So now if what I want to do is I will reduce this. So see, it is automatically, the content is automatically adjusting, it is not going outside the screen, none of the text is going outside the screen. See, everything is coming at the one below the other, it is coming up like this, so nothing is going outside, right? So like this we mean by it should be optimized for all the screens. So this is mobile SEO. Now see, as I am increasing the size, see, it is automatically adjusting as per its original content. Yeah, so this is what we mean by SEO here. So our website should be responsive to all the screens that we are when people are browsing internet on different screens, that we need to take care. So that is meant by mobile SEO.
Okay.
So now what other things that we have is you can see an arrow over here. Now it means that after completing all these things, we cannot stop over here. This is a continuous process, we have to keep on doing it. So say today we have optimized our website with all these things, so it's okay. But now to remain on the top, we have to make sure that other people are optimizing their websites also. So now the keywords that we are using in our website, for that we need to know what is the competition for those keywords, and those keywords are searched on internet or not. So for that reason, we have keyword research and analysis. We have a tool called as Google Keyword Planner. So over here we have Google Keyword Planner. So I'll just sign in. Because see, why do we need to use this tool? Because see, if we are talking about say getting our website into search engines, and we have created the blogs and everything, and we have used one of the keyword as our primary keyword, say like over here SEO tips or say SEO analytics tools. But first of all, I should know that whether people are searching for this keyword which I've used as my primary keyword or secondary keyword or tertiary keyword. whether people are searching for these keywords in search engine or not. Now I might have used SEO tips as my primary keyword in this particular article, but if people are not searching, then whether will my website come up in search engine? No, not at all, because see, the keyword that I have used, people are not searching. So if people will search, then my website might come up in search engine. So for that reason, when I was talking about creating the content, that we need to take care of all the keywords. So now those keywords, we have selected the primary keyword as search engine marketing, and then I would select the other keywords like advertise or paid advertising. All those things I have used as secondary keywords and tertiary keywords. So now when I select those keywords, the first thing I need to know is go over here and search for those keywords, that whether people are actually searching or not. Then I can select that, okay, this would be my primary keyword, this would be my secondary keyword, this would be my tertiary keywords. So after selecting all the keywords, I will enter over here, say like search engine marketing, and then I'll press enter, and then Google will tell me. See, now we can see the result over here. Search engine marketing, there are average 1000 to 10,000 average monthly searches. So on Google, this keyword is searched for 10,000 times. I mean, it is very less, but still, I mean, there are 10,000 people from India. Over here we have selected location India. If I want to change my location, if I want to know from any other country also, then I can type a target location over here, that okay, if I'm based in US, or my target audience is US, then I will select US over here. Then I want to find that, okay, fine, all my audiences are from US. Then if people from US will search for these keywords, then my website should come up over there. So I should know that how many people in US are searching for this particular keyword which I am searching right now. So that is what this tool will do. It will tell us how many people are searching for this particular keyword, how many times this search is there. So because see, on Google search engine, we do not know that what keywords people are searching and how many times people are searching. So for that reason this tool is used. So now if I decide that my keyword is search engine marketing, so now I need to rethink, because 10,000 is very low. Say out of the whole population of India, if I just consider 10,000, and there are other millions of websites available on Google, then how can I compete with all of them? It would be very difficult for me to compete with them, and only 10,000 people are searching. So for that reason I need to select some other keyword which is more better. So over here, related to search engine marketing, I do not have. So what I can do is I can remove this, and I can try to search for search engine strategy. So let me search for this. So that is again too low, so only 100 people are searching, so that is out of question, so I cannot use this also. So now let me search for, say like digital marketing. So now over here you can see digital marketing, say 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, 100,000 to 1 million, that is 1 lakh to 10 lakh people are searching. So if 10 lakh people are searching, then I have a very good chance that I can use this keyword in my content, and when this content is coming up, people are searching, then my website can also come up in search engines. The next thing that we need to know is the competition. Competition should be low. If the competition is high, then I cannot use this keyword. I mean, I can use, but I need to work a lot on my say SEO strategies and work more on optimization of my content.
Okay.
Hmm. So now uh, over here below are related ideas. So if I say that digital marketing is my primary keyword, then over here related keywords are online marketing. Then I'll select this online marketing. See over here also from 10,000 to 1 lakh people are searching, keyword is medium. Then over here digital marketing agency, so here 10,000 to 100,000, so that is mentioned over here. So all important keywords which are having more number of searches and low competition, we can select those keywords and we can use them in our content. So now I decide that okay fine, I can use primary keywords, secondary keywords and tertiary keywords in my content. But what if I use all these keywords, I make my whole content search engine friendly by using all the keywords that people are searching on the Google. So then in that case, whenever people will search for all these keywords, all these keywords are people are already searching, then my website will definitely come up because all these keywords are there, and there are more than lakh 10 lakh searches on Google, and the results will depend from the location where they are searching. So I have a very better chance that people from my area like Navi Mumbai people will be able to get my results. And say if my website comes up in search engine, then yes, I can get more business. That is the main aim. So like this we need to search for all these things. So in search engine we will learn only up till here, so this box up till here. So now all these things whatever we have, we will be learning this in coming modules, wherein we will be learning about paid ads in Google Ads. So like I said that in our first lecture I had mentioned that every keyword has a value. So over here I can say that okay, see this digital marketing, what is the value? The value is 5.42. And in the Google also we had searched for, see over here if I search for digital marketing, and we saw some ads over here, digital marketing courses, and I had said that whenever a people will click on this, so some amount will get deducted from their account. So that is what is mentioned over here. 5 rupees 42 paisa will get deducted when they will when people will search for digital marketing in search engine, and these results will come up. So at that point of time, whenever I click on this, that 5 rupees 42 paisa will be deducted. So like that you can just imagine
Okay,
that.
so
Yeah, tell me.
so every time, so these whichever PPCs are there,
Yeah,
if I click on digital marketing and if I click on that website,
yeah,
which in the ads which those come, so this amount will be deducted from the account.
right. Yes, that is correct. And over here
Hmm.
you can see one more figure, that is 30.93, that is top of the bid. So now in that case there are people who are fighting for getting the first position. So for that reason Google have
Okay.
provided something called as top of the bid. Over here normally people are providing 5 rupees 42 paisa, but for that same click they can pay 30 rupees 99 paise and they can always remain on the top. So here their ad will always remain over here. So unless and until some other
But there are so many but there are so many companies and institutes who
right.
might be doing this, but not everybody stays on top, na?
See now that is a very good question. I'll answer to this. See what happens is, if you search for the same keyword over here in search engine, your results would be different, my results would be different. Your first ad would be different, my first ad would be different. So everybody's ad would be coming up in everybody's system. See over here 1 million people are searching for this keyword. So all 1 million, now 1 million ads won't be there for the same keyword. Say there might be, say maybe 5 lakhs 10 lakh people who are marketing these keywords every single day. So for that reason,
Okay.
everybody's system will show different. Now say if I'm searching for digital marketing courses, then over here in Navi Mumbai where I am located, I will see all the institutes which are located near to my location. Because see, whenever you open Google Chrome, it will ask you that allow location. You get a pop-up allow location, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why does Google ask you to allow to use your location? Because whenever you search for any keyword in Google, it will show you the relevant results within your area. That is the reason it will ask you to allow your location. So I'm saying that when I search for digital marketing in over here, I will get different results, and when you search from your area, you will get different results. So people who have provided the locations, like say uh, now whenever we use these ads over here, we have to provide the location also. Say where are our targeted audiences located, or say it will ask us that where do you want your ad to be seen. So if I say Navi Mumbai, then only people in Navi Mumbai who are searching for this particular keyword, the ads would be shown. And if you are searching from there, you will not see this ad because that person has not selected Mumbai. So this is what it is. Now if someone from India says that my ad should be seen only in say Vancouver, Canada, so only in that city my ad will be seen. So I can target any city, state or country globally. So it is so for
Okay.
that reason everybody gets a fair chance. And it is not that I'm going to search for this keyword only once. Now I might again come back in the afternoon, or I might refresh the page and say the ads would be different over here. See, right now the ads are not coming. See, it has gone. So for that reason it will say keep on fluctuating. See, now over here you can see that it is coming up over here and this is coming up at the bottom. So if I refresh this, the frequency of this person paying some amount would be less, and if some other person has paid something more, then their frequency will come up more. So this person's, so everybody's ad will come up. But say over here this person's ad it might come up for 7 times, and the other person's ad might come up after every 5 ads. So after every 5 ads this person's ad might come up, and other person's ad might come up after every 10 ads. So that frequency rotates. So every time whenever a person is opening, different ads would come up. Now if you close the browser and if you again open it, then you will see a different set of ads. So that is what everybody gets, everybody's ads are seen, so that we don't need to worry about it. So this is, right now we are just concentrating on this. So when we go to the paid advertising, at that time you will understand the whole scenario, how does this work. So right now we are concentrating on pure SEO. So this is how we need to select our keywords. So now we know that all our keywords are above say 1 lakh and above. So now my content has a very good chance to come up in search engines, because I have used all the keywords. I have added these these keywords in my content throughout the content I have used. So then my web page will come up in search engine. So that is what we meant by this. So we have to use all these things again and again, because tomorrow if somebody else will over optimize or say do better optimization and this, and then their website will come up at the top position and not ours. Because say the demand and supply of these keywords keep on changing. Today it might be, say in this month it might be say 100,000, but tomorrow this keyword might have only 50,000 searches, or it might have say 1,50,000 searches, or say it might have even 1 lakh. So we need to keep on monitoring the value, monthly search volume every week, because it keeps on fluctuating. Like share market, the prices of share goes on every second up and down. The same thing goes over here also, the monthly search volume and the demand and supply over here. Now this volume will depend totally on the pricing. So if there are more number of advertisers bidding on this particular keyword and they are paying higher amount, then the value of this particular keyword will increase. So if today it is 10,000 and people are bidding more on that particular keyword, then this pricing will increase, and over here the monthly search volumes will also increase. If the search is less, then again the rate also will go less. If it is more, then yes, again it might go more above, it can be less over here. So it's like that. See over here you can see 100,000, that is 1 lakh searches are there for this particular keyword. But when we talk about over here, it is 79, right? 79 rupees for 1000. But over here there are only 10,000 searches, but still over here it is 70 rupees. See over here it is 79 rupees when it is 1 lakh, and over here it is 70 rupees when it is just 10,000. That is the demand of this particular keyword, internet marketing. That is the reason. Over here we are using a long tail keyword like digital marketing company. Over here it is internet marketing, it is a short word, it is a this is a broad range keyword, and this is directly a keyword. That is the reason over here the pricing is almost similar or very nearby. So we need to analyze this over here. We need to do a lot of keyword research, and then we should know that okay, fine, now I can use these keywords. Over here 1 lakh times this keyword is used, and over here the competition is quite less. So that is the reason I should use or pick up all the keywords first which I have low competition. Because see, if there are 100 people running a race, then in that case I have only 1% chances to win, because there are another 99 people also running the race, right? Now if I have only 10 people, then I have 10% chances of winning, because there are only 9 people running. And if there are only 2 people running, then I have 50-50 chances of winning the game, right? So this is what it is. So we should always choose low competition, where the competition is low and the search volume is more. Then we get better opportunity to come up in search engine. So this was the keyword research and analysis, and this is what we need to use everywhere. Everywhere in not just means on the website or blogs, but we should use this everywhere. When we create our social media profiles on Facebook, over there we have a section called as About Us. In About Us, if our content is say more powerful, more optimized, it is using the best keywords which people are searching for more number of times over here, then when on Facebook, when people will search for those keywords, then definitely your name or your company's name would come up, your company pages would be shown over there. So that is, optimization is used everywhere. Even in YouTube also same principle goes. See, if I optimize my content, then my videos will come up to the first page everywhere. See, I'll just show you right now. We just saw this. Say I'll search for my keyword which I have just used, say 21 days unlocking series. See, my keyword is also coming on the top. These are other related keywords. See now over here. Now over here you can see my video is coming at the first position in the search results page. Now over here this I have done optimization, so that is the reason it is coming up over here at the first place. Now I will search for the same keyword in YouTube. See over here, you can see this 21 days unlocking series. See over here. Now if I open this,
Yeah.
see over here you can see 21 days unlocking series, unlocking digital marketing by Hitesh Chatralia. See, my name is there. So my video is there on the first
Yes.
page. So like this, if we optimize it, then we get it. See, I told you that it is a myth that people are thinking that if they have thousands or lakhs of views, then their videos will come up on the top. No, see over here, this person is having say 1,23,000 views, but his video is at the second position. Over here you can see 1.9 million views, but still his video is at the third position. Over here 2,14,000 views, and it is a verified channel, but still it is coming at the fourth position. And what is my views? Only 1,100 views. So now you can just imagine that if we optimize it, then our content can come up on the top. So search engine optimization is used each and every place. And it is not just this search engine. I'll just give you one more example over here. For the same keyword, I will go to Bing and then I'll search over there. You can see my video is coming up over here. I have a special listing over here, as well as in video also it is coming up over here. So this is the optimization. So it is coming up in the first position over here also. Then I'll show you it on Yahoo. In Yahoo search engine, let me search for the same keyword. Now you can see it is coming up over here also at the first position. See over here it is having a separate listing over here. See, author digital marketing training. So this is my channel. So over here also you can see it is coming up, and over here also it is coming up. Then say you see DuckDuckGo's this search engine over here also. If I search over here also, it is coming up at the first position. So actually this video is say on the top of all the search engines globally. I have checked this. I spent the whole day checking up in more than 40 search engines, and this video is coming up at the top of all the search engines everywhere. So this is what we need to know, that if we do search engine optimization in a proper way, we do good keyword research analysis, and we keep on continue doing it, then yes, our content will be on the top. So this is what we do is on page optimization. That is, whatever we have to do is we will be doing on our website. Now the next thing is off page optimization. So in off page optimization, we will not touch anything of our website. We will close our website. And in off page optimization, I will be promoting my websites everywhere. Say in directory submission, search engines, then blog article submission, social media, bookmarking websites, free classifieds, press release, backlinks, all these things. So like say if I talk about directory submissions, then I need to add my website. I need to create content over there. Create content means I need to promote my website. See, because if you have created a website, you have done good SEO, but nobody knows about your website because you have just created your website. So for that reason, you will submit it everywhere. So directory submission, so directories like say Yellow Pages, Just Dial, India Mart, there are various directories available. Then Indian Exporters, Exporters India, these are various directories available. So we need to add our company over there, and whatever we are providing, selling, and we need to provide the links of our website everywhere. So in off page SEO, the links are most important. Those are called as backlinks. We are building backlinks through off page SEO. So whenever people will click on the links of our website from other website and come back to our website, that is the reason it is called as backlinks. People will come back to our website by clicking our links on other websites. So that is backlinks. Then we need to submit our website to search engines. So we have a special module for it, how to submit and monitor our websites in search engine, whether it is having any problem or not. See, sometimes we think that we have done a very good SEO, we have done all the good research and analysis and everything. From our end, we feel that everything is fine, but from other side of the search engine might, from other side of the website, search engine might think that okay, there are various problems in this websites which they need to resolve, and that is the reason they have kept your site on hold. But if you do not use those modules, then you in life you will never come to know. If you do not know about those modules, then whatever good SEO you do, your website will never come up in search engine, because for that we need to use those modules, and we need to know that what problems Google have detected. So for that reason we will be having a separate session. So we need to submit our website to various search engines, then our results would come up. Then we need to write some small blogs promoting our website. So on all other websites, say like I might go to blogger.com, or I need to go to wordpress.com, or I need to go to any other websites where I can write blogs. So there I will promote my website and add all the add the URL of my website. So that I can do. Then social bookmarking websites, so there are various social bookmarking websites like slash.org, then we have reddit.com, then we have say mix.com, then StumbleUpon is there. So like this there are various social bookmarking websites and social media websites as well. Say like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever we go, we put our links. So if I just show you over here, say on my website, I just open any video. See over here, if I just open any of these videos and I scroll down, I show more. So this is the content that I've see over here. You can see my links over here. So this is backlink. So when people will click on this, then in my analytics it will show that this traffic has come from YouTube. So this, like this, I need to write all the content over here. So I need to provide my links at all the places. Now why this link building is so important, why we need to use all these places and provide my links to all these places? Because see, when we have if more number of people are talking about us, then definitely everybody will think that, see, so many people are talking about this website, or so many people are talking about anything, so it means that should be really good or very important. The same way, if we have thousands or lakhs of links on other websites, Google will think that, okay, this website, so many websites are talking about this website, so it means that this website is more important, so automatically the ranking of our website will increase. So if you are not able to achieve your results with on-page SEO, then off-page SEO is a sure shot method with which you can get your content to the top. And even if by doing on-page SEO, if your websites are not coming up in search engine results, then indirectly all your websites will come up in search engine by using this method. And off-page SEO is the strongest module of digital marketing, because this has the power to make your content go viral. So off-page SEO is very important, that we need to know. And where will we post our content when we talk about posting on all these websites? So say like I can post it on free classifieds, say like OLX and Quicker, then press release submission, there are various websites, and backlinks, so I need to put my links on all these websites. So but these are the things that I can do for off-page SEO, but where will I post my content? So for that reason what I will do is I will go to Google. See, I have just typed high page rank, and you can see high page rank social bookmarking sites, high page rank classified sites, high page rank social bookmarking sites 2018.
Yeah.
So these are the places where I can post my content. So if I go to high page rank social bookmarking website, then we will get thousands of websites. So over here you can see 1300 websites. So over here, if I just open this, then I open this, see over here I'll get a list of top 90 websites where I can just go and create my profile, and I can post my content to all these websites. So here the list is provided. So again, next 11 to 20, then 21 to 30, then 31 to 40, like this, all these things. And below that you will find what are the other things in off-page SEO that you can do. Over here you can see free guest blogging is there, top article submission websites, then do follow blog commenting websites, then high page rank infographic submission websites, classified submission sites. So go to all these one by one, and you will get all the resources where you can post your content. And whenever you post your content in all the websites, you will put the link of your website or a particular blog that you are promoting, or if you are just promoting your website, then you put the URL of your home page, that is xyz.com, like that. So this is what we need to do. and then our links will come up everywhere. See, I'll just show you the live result of that. See, if I go over here in Google and I just search for Helpopedia, and then over here, see, my website is coming up at the top. That is okay. So I'm not considering my website, I'm just considering the other website. See, over here you can see this helpopedia.business.site. So this over here my content is there. Now I've optimized this, and my website links are there on LinkedIn also. So on my LinkedIn website is coming up over here. Then my Facebook contains my website URL, so my Facebook account is coming up over here. So over here, this is another off-page SEO website where I have promoted my content. So for that reason my website is coming up over here. On Play Store I have my app, and in my app I have my website URL, so my website URL is coming up over here also. Then like this you can see there are various pages available where I have promoted my content. See, everywhere you can see Helpopedia EduTech. On Freelancer I have one account. See, on Sulekha, that is directory. So on directory also I have posted my content. Then SlideShare I have posted my content. Then YMaps I have posted my content. So like this you can see everywhere I have posted my content, and then people will get to know about your website like this. Then people will directly search for this particular content. People will get to know that okay, Helpopedia EduTech is something that we need to know. So then whenever I search for Helpopedia EduTech, then you will get the whole result over here. See, on the right hand side you can see everything. This is my content on the right hand side. See over here, digital marketing courses, Helpopedia EduTech. So this is over here. Then people will get to know everything about my institute or whatever I'm teaching over here. See, online classes, on-site services, right now it's closed. Then people can see my reviews. So I've got 27 Google reviews which are all 5-star, no 4-star, no 3-star, no 1-star, no 0 stars, all 5 stars. And these all reviews are from my students. You can just see over here, people can see the address, then over here whether it is open or closed, so people can see the hours also. So here hours are also mentioned, so that then my phone number is mentioned, then my website URL is mentioned, then over here COVID update, that all things is mentioned. Then over here all the products that I've added in Google, those products will come up over here. And then over here different category of products that I have, and then over here the reviews that all my students have given, and something about the company that is mentioned over here. So like this people will get all the information, and then directly when people will click over here they will land up on my website. So that is what it is, and finally we get business. So this is the most important thing, that why we do off-page SEO. That is very important. So that is off-page SEO. And then we have certain things like meta tags, meta page title, that I've already told you. The blue colored results that we see on Google, those are all meta title, and the same thing is available on Google also and on our website also. Then we have meta tags. So meta tags are all the primary keywords, secondary keywords, and tertiary keywords that we are using on our website. So on the blog section over here I have created all the tag section over here. So these are all meta tags that I used on various blogs on my website. So Google bots will come up and pick up from here also. So that is what we mean by meta tag. And the meta description also. So meta description is something wherein say we get to know that whenever we write something over here, say in Google, if I just go to Google over here and I search for any keyword, and then over here whatever you see, this is called as meta description. So this meta description is, if we do not add meta description, then it will take first 160 characters from our blog, from the first paragraph. So it is we who decide what content we want to make people see in search engine. So this content is not automatic, so I can decide what content should come up over here. So this is very important that we need to know. So now once we write all these meta description, because see, meta description is important, because when we see various results over here, people will not just blindly click on all these links, that okay fine, this is at first position, so I'll click on this. No, it's not like that. People will read this and say that okay, whether this is relevant and whatever I'm searching, whether this is relevant to me or not. Then they'll search, they'll read this, and then they'll read this also. So if they find that okay, this content is what exactly I'm looking, then they'll click on this. So they'll not click on this, all these links. So even though being on top, it doesn't mean that people will click on the first result. No, people will read this. This is the decision maker, which makes people to click on this link or this link. So this should be very powerful, and you can craft your own content. You can write your own, create your own content over here with 160 characters, and we just need to make sure that our meta description also contains our primary keyword. See over here, why we are using, why we are emphasizing on primary keyword. See, because those keywords are getting highlighted over here, so people will get to know. So if my keyword, my content does not have primary keyword, then it will not be highlighted, it will be like a normal sentence. But that is what Google does not want, because Google wants people to know that okay, whatever you have searched, all these websites are having these keywords which you are searching. So then people can read that okay, what this is, and then they'll make a decision and click on whatever they are looking. So that is, meta description is very important. And then this is the URL structure, so that we'll learn once we create the content. So then it's XML sitemaps. Though XML sitemaps, I've already shown you that we have started to generate that. So let me see if it is created or not. Okay, okay, so now it is created, it is completed. So I can just click on view sitemap details. So here I can see this is all the links that are generated. See, all these links are generated. It has today's date and timestamp is there. So what I can do is I can just download this file, and over here see, download your XML sitemap file. So if I want to download this, so I can download this, so which has the latest content. So I'll just save it on my desktop. So now this XML file has come up. So now I can upload this to my server, and then Googlebot will get to know that okay fine, some new content is also added on this website. So then it will take that new content also to search engine. So like this we generate XML site.
Where do we
Yeah,
upload this sitemap?
yeah, okay, I'll just log into my server and I'll just show it to you. So we need to upload it in our public_html, that is root folder of our website. So this is my control panel. I go to file manager, and I go to the root folder of this website over here, and over here you can just check, see over here sitemap.xml file. So this file is already present, but this one is the latest, because I might have added some new blogs in past few weeks, because this was uploaded on 21st July. So after 21st July I might have added various blogs, so those blogs might not have been added to this sitemap. So over here we have generated a fresh sitemap. So what I can do is upload, and I'll select that file from desktop, and I will upload it. And it says that do you want to overwrite that file, because that file already exists. So I'll say yes. So now new sitemap.xml is uploaded. So like this I need to upload it to my server. So now over here we can see the latest file. I'll just reload this so we can see today's date. Sitemap.xml file today 2:34 p.m. So this is over here we can see the time right now 2:34. So here it is uploaded. So now we know that okay fine, the latest file is uploaded. So now whenever Googlebot will come and they will see any changes in our website, they'll go to this file and they'll collect the new content. So like this we upload it, generate it and upload it. So that is what it is. So that is XML sitemap. And then images, like I said, that whatever images that we are searching, see if I'm searching for a chocolate cake, then only the images for chocolate cakes will come up. Then other strawberry cake or any other cake, it will not come up. So only chocolate cake will come up. So over here, for that reason, whenever I said that we need to use proper alt tags over here, so those all things we need to take care of, and we should name the image accordingly, so then it will come up in images when people are searching. Then we need to use headings. So now headings, when we say headings, then it is not that I'll just increase the size. So I'll just copy this line and I will make the font size bigger and I'll make it bold. That is not heading. It will be considered as paragraph only. We need to use the tags over here: h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6. Like this we have 6, h1 to h6 we have. H1 is the biggest and h6 is the smallest. So depending on the size you can select whatever you want, and then it will be tagged as headings, because Googlebot who comes to take our content, he is not going to read the blog from the front end, it is going to read the blog from the back end. That is, it will read the code of the website. So if I just show you like what is the code of the website, then I just go to any website and if I just say view page source, so whatever code it is seeing, then over here it will see. So if I just let me search that if there is any heading on this website, so I can just search for say h1. It is not using any h1 over here, any heading is not there. So fine, I mean every website might have different things, so that is not a content website for which we have searched. So if we search for any content website, then it will come up. See over here there is no headings we can see, so for that reason it did not find. So like this we need to know that okay fine, these are the things that we need to perform. So headings we need to use. So then we can have various keywords and those can be also tagged as headings. So that is what we can use. Then robot.txt file, we just got to know that what is robot.txt file and how we can use it. So even if I have only first line over here, user agent star, and I name that file as robot.txt and I upload it on the server at the same place where I have uploaded my sitemap.xml, then it is okay, because if I just write this, then there is no problem. Then Googlebot will know that okay fine, all the content this website is applied to me and all the content I can take from this website, so then there is not a problem. So other lines I can use only if I just want to apply some of the conditions to the robot bots, that okay, I don't want to allow any particular page or any particular directory or any particular file or any particular image or any particular video, anything that I have on my website, so that can be allowed. So in that case only I need to write other lines. Otherwise, just if I just create a text file with the name robot.txt file and I just write user agent star, then it's done. So then that file is done and that is a valid file and that can be uploaded. Then yes, keyword usage, that we have already seen how to use the keywords, what is the keyword research, how do we need to search from Google Keyword Planner, those all things we need to do. So that all can be done. And then keyword density, so content and keyword density, so like what I have said, that 3% of the content should be your keywords. So that is what is mentioned over here, content and keyword density is there. Then keyword research, so we can use, there are various tools available, but over here we are using Google Keyword Planner. So these are all the things that we need to know. That keyword segment, so we need to have keywords related to our content and our categories, so then it would be in a particular order. Then prioritizing the keywords, so like volume, difficulty, CTR, opportunity, so that is all the volume, search volume, and the competition that we have seen. So in that particular order we should use the keywords. That okay, fine, this is having the highest search volume and the competition is low, then in that case I can use that keyword as my primary keyword, and the other keywords which are having little less search volumes and competition is low, then I can use it as secondary and tertiary keywords or long tail keywords. So long tail keyword means like say I search for digital marketing courses in Kharghar, so that is a long tail keyword. If I just search for the digital marketing, then it can be said as a keyword. Then digital marketing courses, so that is a long tail key phrase, so that can see, we can call it as a phrase, that is a key phrase. So keyword, key phrase, and long tail key phrase, so that is what the difference is. So those all things we need to use and determine keyword targeting and new content creation priority. So keyword targeting, so that like we saw from Google Keyword Planner, we had selected the country India. So if we are targeting India, then we should make sure that the country selected is India, then only our research will be accurate. Otherwise it would be it will provide wrong results if the country is some any other country. So that is what we need to do in keyword research. So yeah, I mean from here we have other modules, so I'll not be sharing this. I mean this is all here just mentioned about those things. So search console we have separate module, so that all things we'll be seeing later. So this is what we have in search engine optimization, but whatever we have seen till now is just understanding of SEO and practical implementation of search engine will be done once say we will say start in the next session. So from the next session onwards we will be starting our practicals, wherein we will be writing some blogs and we will be doing search engine optimization on it. So then we will see practically, so that we will start from next session. So is there any
Okay.
say questions for today? If you have any questions,
Because even
yeah.
like my website's backend, I
Hmm.
handle.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah, I'm
can
listening.
you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so you were,
Hello.
yeah, so you were talking about your website. Hello.
Yeah. So in my website backend, so
Yeah.
if when my website's backend, if I want to do SEO,
Hmm.
like I was not able to find file manager and
Hmm.
such,
Okay, so what
because my website backend is on Shopify.
sorry, on which platform is it built? Shopify.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. So you are using,
Shopify.
okay. See, that is a third party website. So there we cannot do anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
Shopify.
yeah, so Shopify we cannot do anything besides just the content description that we write. Only that is the
Okay, it's a
thing that,
third party website.
yeah, third party. See, Shopify is a third party website because say Shopify does not belong to you. So you might be selling some products on that website, right? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
have my own website and backend. Hello.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
I am my company's website is the Story Merchants and a
Okay.
backend. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Say, I mean, there was some.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Continue.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so the Story Merchants is my company and backend. Hello.
Yeah.
and to operate the backend we use Shopify. So
Okay.
on Shopify we cannot do SEO, na? It's just we can manage the website. That's it, na?
Can you just give me the
Like
UR?
changing the content or adding products or
Yeah,
reducing products or
yeah. So when you add products to your website,
URL for.
yeah, URL of your website, so I can just check.
Yeah, 1 second. I've sent a message.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Shopify. You are using Shopify. Okay. So yes, you can use you can do SEO on your website. See only for the products you are using Shopify, but for see about us, then books, then games, all these things where these are the places where you can do SEO. And on the product section also, see whenever you click any content over here, then whatever content you are writing, see this page does not contain description, so here you need more description. So that is what you need to do.
No, this is just just books because other products all have description,
Yeah, but
like proper
okay.
description.
Okay.
All other products, these are just temporary selling books.
Yeah, so you can do SEO over
Yeah, these
here.
are all temporary. Open this animal and trans. Yeah,
Yeah, so over
these
here
all products have proper description of products.
yeah, so over here you can do SEO. So on your website
Okay.
you can do. So if because you have control of all these content, so what you can do is you can do SEO. So once you learn SEO, then you can do SEO on all these products. Each and every page of your website you can do SEO, because wherever you are able to add the content that is of your control. See, this all content belongs to your company, so this content has to be search engine optimized.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean you can do SEO of
Yes.
your website, so whatever backend you are using, so not a problem. So Shopify is okay, fine, no problem. Otherwise I don't know why your company is using Shopify for all these things when you can have your own content. Because Shopify you have to keep on paying them money each and every time, and every month or every year you just need to keep on paying them, and that is a very costly affair. I mean, if you are having your own server, and if you are hosting your website over there, then you can have your own email addresses and everything, all the things are possible, and you can use it as the way you want. Because in Shopify I don't think you have much customization available. That is the only thing. So any which way say this
Yeah,
SEO.
on Shopify, much customization is not.
There are
Yeah,
quite restrictions on Shopify.
yeah, that's what. So I mean, you can try to convince your company once you complete this course. I will tell you what are the things that your company can use and what are the things are most better for your thing. See, because if you see my website, then I just showed you my control panel. So there I have all the options that I want, and I can control the whole website of mine.
Yeah,
So I mean, that all things can be done, because over here, I mean, you will not have all those options. I mean, just
yeah,
having a website, it doesn't help. But yes, if we consider search engine optimization, so it can be done everywhere, because at least you might not have other options to be controlled, but over here you have option wherein you have content. So this content can be optimized. So once you learn how to do SEO, then yes, you can do SEO of all the pages, all the products which are listed on your content. But the most important thing is, say, the products which does not have any content, you need to add content. Even if you don't have any content from this for any particular product, create content. So then people will find. Otherwise, if you don't find any
okay,
content, then how will you add keywords to that product? And if that product is even available, and if people are searching, and your website is not visible, then it's not useful. So the best thing is, you need to have content on all the pages, and like I said, that you need to have a minimum of 300 words, minimum. If you're writing a blog, and if you're writing a product, then minimum 100 words you need to have. 100 or 200 words, the more you have, it's more better. So that is what you need to take care of. So yes, I mean, as far as SEO is considered,
okay.
it can be done, so not a problem. So we will check that also, and say from next session we have it on Monday. So Monday we will start with actual practical sessions of how to do SEO, and on Monday I will give you your login details also from my server, that you will get your own website. So first we will learn how to create a website, and then how to add content to it, and then how to do SEO on it. So all those three things we will start from Monday. So is there any other question that you have for today? Hello? 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 It seems you are not able to hear me. So any which ways, we have completed our session for today, and the lecture would be uploaded in an hour. So you can just check. Okay, so you were disconnected.
Yeah, I got disconnected.
Okay, that's what I just thought. So because I was just asking and I was not able to hear you. So fine, no problem. So the only thing is that now, say, we will be starting with our practicals on Monday, wherein we will be learning how to create a website, then add content to it, and then do SEO on it. That was I just said. I don't know whether you have heard it or not. So fine, I just repeated. So it's fine. So then we will start practicals from Monday. So if you have any questions for today, then you can just let me know, or else we can conclude for the day.
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, fine. So you can just note it down anytime you have, then you can ask it in the next session, or leave a message, no problem.
Okay, okay.
Okay, chalo, bye. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Yeah. हम्म 5 मिनट दे मने भाई लेक्चर